Welcome to lesson 72, talking about implied ratios. Implied ratio means that the numbers or the relationship between two of the numbers, there exists kind of this proportionality to it. And so in that sense, it can be set up like a ratio. What makes it implied ratio is the problem isn't going to step forward and say the ratio of this to this is, and give you the numbers. And so that's what makes it more of an implied ratio, even though we can use the principles of ratio to help us solve these problems. For example, it says if 5 pencils cost $1.20, how much would 12 pencils cost? So there isn't a ratio given to us right there, but as we break this problem down, we can talk about this scenario. All right, so case one, what's our first situation? First situation tells us that we have 5 pencils and the cost is $1.20. Instantly, if we set this up like this, we now have a ratio of 5 to $1.20. Right? Not given to us like a ratio, but an implied ratio. From here, we can go to our case 2, right? Case, the mystery, what are we trying to solve? And case number 2 says that we want 12 pencils, so how much is it going to cost us? And with that information, now we can try and solve this because we have, basically we have this ratio compared to this ratio. So let's go ahead and solve this. All right, so 5 over 120 equals 12 over something. So I can write this like this, and we'll throw the money in at the end. So we're looking for this idea. All right. Now, from the start here, I want to be able to do whatever I can to make this easier. All right. Now, I am noticing that there's a relationship, and you might not see this, but right, 12 and 120 is definitely a relationship. Especially if we ignore the decimal for just a minute. If you ignore that, that's 120. So 120 times 10 gives us 12. So I could very easily try to see those relationships. But we're going to go ahead and cross multiply and then solve this. So 12 times 120, and so that's going to be all right, so that's the 12. That's multiplying this way. I'll drill that. And then, of course, we're going to multiply this way like this. And that's going to give us, I don't know why I wrote, oh, yeah, 5x. So 5x equals $14.4. Right? And then I'm going to divide by 5, divide by 5. So that gives me an x alone. So 14.4 divided by 5 equals this number. Throw a money sign in there, go ahead and plug it back into my box, and I get a final answer of $2.88. So I use this ratio box in a simple way to be able to solve this. In this case, I have to do some cross multiplication to quickly and easily solve this problem. All right. Moving on. Let's try this again. Right? It says Mrs. Campbell can tie 25 bows in 3 minutes at that rate. Right? So we have a rate. Rates and ratios are pretty similar, right? But it's not really a ratio, it's still a rate. At that rate, how many bows can she tie in an hour? So in this case, we can see that, right, case number 1, what we're given, she can do 25 in 3 minutes. Now we want to know how much she can do in an hour. So first we understand that 1 hour is 60 minutes because we need the same label, minutes to minutes. Got to have that. But with that information, now we are able to solve. So I can set this up. I can say 25 over 3 equals something over 60. And so we got 25 times 60 equals 1,500, and 3 times x. Now 1,500 divided by 3 is going to give me the fast answer of 500. And so if I have that much time, I should be able to do 500 Pose. That's a busy, busy person. Busy, busy working. Okay, we've seen it. Here's yours.